Hello, precious people. I'm Jacqueline Parks. Welcome to my studio, Stampin' Turtles. I'm going to be showing you how to paint a dock going into the water. And it should be pretty fun and easy. So if you'd like to join, grab your watercolors, grab some watercolor paper, and we will start doing this. Let me see if I can hear me. We got Valium. We probably need some Valium. That's what I'm going to say. Hey, Debbie, thanks for joining. I love that you are already in the chat. Thank you so much. I sent this to my my crew, the Painty Ladies, and so they may be stopping in and saying hi. We meet on Tuesdays. We're some local artists that do social media, and we support each other and encourage each other. So I love that group so much. In fact, one of my friends is starting her own art studio in Daphne, Alabama. We need to support her because she's going to have some amazing classes where you can just walk in and start doing something creative. So her place is called That Art Place, and it's in Daphne, Alabama. You guys need to go check her out. Hey, Janice, thanks for joining today. Hopefully you aren't too busy and can join in the painting of this really cool dock. And I didn't even put it on here. I need to see if I can add that after I've already set up my live stream. Maybe not. Maybe I can just show it to you off of my phone and give you guys a little bit of let's see if we can show it on my phone. So this is what we're painting. So I just painted this one in my sketchbook. Super quick, super easy. Took less than an hour for me to paint this. And it's about a 6x6 inch sketchbook. So not too large. I don't really like painting large when I'm doing a tutorial or a watercolor class, because I think doing something large is overwhelming. So sometimes we need to start small and go from there. I have conquered some larger paintings, 5 feet wide by 2.5 feet tall, and it is one of those things that you probably don't start that way. You don't start with your largest painting. You start with some tutorials like this where you just get some paper and you do this. So right now I've got my desk. I did get some fresh water, y'all. You'll be proud that you can see through the bottom of this. Also, I've got my, I'm drinking some vanilla chai tea. It's called a black tea. I don't even know. We'll see what it tastes like. I need to probably put honey in it, because if you don't have honey, you're not really, it's not good. And this I recommend. I think the honey is going to help my voice. So hopefully when I get a little sip of this, it'll be good. Very good, actually. So this is local honey. If you have allergies, they say you should get some local honey, because that will help you with your allergies. And this is from Coastal Comb Bee Company, Fairhope, Alabama. Y'all should try it. It's awesome, amazing honey. Now I'm going to stir this real quick with this dusty spoon. It's okay. Dust doesn't hurt. So we're going to stir this up. And hopefully I won't drink my my cleaning water, my watercolor water. Oh, you all, this is good. If you have not tried this stuff, this is good. It's got a smooth vanilla blended with flavorful spices. So yeah, definitely give that a sip if you can. Also, something else fun. Let me see if I have a larger. Why is every scene on my desk like super close up? I don't even understand. All right, we're gonna make one that's a little zoomed out so you can see my whole desk, which, sorry, that's taking a minute. That's a little better. So I am doing a 5x7 already cut. So if you need to go get yourself some paper cut to 5x7, that's what we're gonna do. Not sure if I'm gonna do it landscape or portrait. I may do landscape. I don't know. Be fun. Got my paints and brushes over here, but I did want to share with you guys something really quick. My Aunt Jenny, she's so precious. She got all these watercolor books. Look at that, How to Paint Roses. Look at that. This is a really cool book. And so I'm going to have these at the studio for people to peruse. If you ever sign up for one of my watercolor classes, I try to have some books laying around for y'all to look at. Let's see, this one is pretty cool. I actually like this one. I have not had a chance to look through these, so this is like brand new to me. But I am liking what I'm seeing in here. There's a lot of orange colors, which I need to do some orange. Need to do oranges. I was painting daffodils one day and I was like, not sure how to paint them. Here's a whole tutorial on it. Vegetables in a basket. Y'all, is your garden doing good? Mine is somewhat okay. I shouldn't say mine, it's my husband's. But he did some corn, he did okra, squash, zucchini, tomatoes. He's got all kinds of fabulous stuff. Ooh, y'all, look at the prettiness of that. It's so clean and sharp. I have to do something like that. Ooh, and some koi. Y'all know I'm a very loose watercolor artist. I am more of a, well, here's a magnolia. That's kind of pretty. This book is pretty in-depth, I think, about composition too. Might be kind of fun. Ooh, look at that. That might be fun to do. But today we're not going to do anything from one of these books. We're going to do, oh, look at those horses, so detailed. Watercolor. Y'all, you'd be surprised how detailed you can get with some watercolor. And I will show you that too in today's tutorial. This one's looking a little more like it's loose painting, which is more my style. I like to paint loosely. Ooh, I like that. Waterfalls and coastlines. That's like right up my alley. And the salt technique. I don't know if we're doing that. We're probably not doing a salt technique today. But these are going to be great books. Great. There's like so many in here. She is amazing. And getting started in watercolors, watercolor landscapes. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I don't even know how old these are, but it doesn't matter because the techniques in them never go bad. So I'm just going to put that on the floor and we're going to get started because you guys, it's already 11 after. Can you believe it? Hey, Jerry, thanks for joining. Y'all, Jerry is our fearless businesswoman who is starting her own art studio. I'm one of those play it safe, open an art studio privately. And she is like out there doing it. And I'm like, everyone, y'all need to support her because she's amazing and deserves it. So, and she's fabulous teacher. And so right now I don't even have the picture except on my phone. So we are going to, actually I might show you my sketchbook while I sketch so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So that is the dock. Perspective, y'all. Perspective is very important. I don't want you guys to forget that when things are further away from you, they are actually smaller on your paper. So gotta move some of this stuff up and over. Can you see both? I think you can see both. Jerry said, glad I have time. I'm looking forward to painting along today. Oh, good. I'm so glad too. We'll have to compare all of our fabulous art at the end. And tomorrow when we meet for our Painty Ladies meeting, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we can do like some exchanges, like little art trades. I I totally want some more of Janice's ACEOs. They're amazing. And Jerry says, and thank you for the shout out. That art place opens on July 6th. Wow, that is so soon. I'm excited. I cannot wait. Janice says, I'm trying to get my split screen to go away. What's a split screen going on with yours? Is it on your phone? I'm not sure. Okay, we are going to do, so my pencil is about the length of this, which is about 7 inches this way and 5 inches this way. I kind of like this. I think I'm gonna enjoy this. Yeah, I do everything lightly with pencil. I don't do a dark line just because if I mess up, I need to be able to erase this. So right here is the very end of my dock. It is only about a ½ inch wide at the most. Oh, Janice says she's doing this as an ACO. Perfect. And you're on your phone. Okay. Yeah, I'm always on my phone too when I watch tutorials, and I don't know if that's good or not, but okay, so this dock, let's just say it's a little rickety, okay? Maybe you don't want to go sit on this dock, but I think it'll be fun to paint it because why not? I should put that song Sitting on the Dock of a Bay, because that's what song comes to mind. Y'all can find it on your phones and put it out there to do. All right, so I don't know if you can see this so far. It is looking pretty good. I'm going to just roughly sketch it. It's almost like a triangle or pyramid. It's very roughly sketched. It's not super fancy. But now I'm going to add the little dock that's right sticking out here. And it's got some little pillars, okay? And then there's some pillars at the end of the dock. And these pillars aren't straight. These have been through some hurricanes, y'all. This dock has seen better days, okay? And as it's getting closer to us, the viewer, we have to think about making these posts, we have to make them bigger as they get closer to us, okay? And I'm just going based off of my own painting instead of the reference photo, so I think this will be a little different. The tops of my pillars closer to me are going to have little circles. Let me erase that one. I think that one's just too big. This one might be too big. But again, no one's going to really compare this except tomorrow when we all compare our compare our paintings. But yeah, this is going to be fun. A fun little exercise. And so that's that one. And then the last one is going to be right here. So see how I'm making these last ones right here a little bigger. And what I like about this one is the there's going to be some different colors in the water. So I'm going to make them, and I may just make it look like this is where the dark blue is going to start. So I start doing that right there. And I'm going to do a shoreline, a wet sand shoreline, and then there's going to be the dry sand shoreline. So I don't know if that's where I want it, maybe right here. And so where this wet sand and the shoreline is, there's a couple little submerged pillars from a dock that was right there and is now gone. Yeah, I might have made that one, that top two, circular. If you're not looking straight down on the top of the pillar, guess what? The top of that pillar is not going to be round. It's going to be flattened out. And what I mean is like these little they're ovals on top. So if you were in a, helicopter looking straight down, they'd be round, but because you're looking at it from the side, they're oval. So that's just a little tip for getting this accurately drawn. So right now I've got this good. I kind of made this a little bit soft. So I may go back in and erase some just to make that horizon, which is the water, flat. You don't want no hills in your horizon. Now you may want to use a ruler. I do have a ruler. Do I have a ruler? Sometimes I have a ruler. If not, I use like this. This is good. I can use this as a straight line. See that? It was not straight before, but now it is. So I erased some of that other stuff. But that helps a lot if you have a little ruler to do something that needs a straight line. Sometimes doing buildings, you'll need a straight line. So that's what I'm doing right now. Let me get a little sip of my tea. I'm sure people are gonna start texting me, which is crazy. Everybody texting me. All right, I'm gonna bring this over here. What pencils? What brushes am I using? I like round. I use round a lot. Hardly ever use flat. Once in a while. I do want to have some tinier ones. So I have 3 different sizes right now. I am gonna bring my palettes over here. This already has some color in it. I don't like to rinse this out unless I totally need a brand new one, right? If I need a brand new palette color, like this has a lot of purple, so I didn't even use purple today. I could rinse this one out with like a clean paper towel, damp paper towel, and have that be a new color area for my palette. But I really only used green and blue and some brown, and it's really not that big a deal. Let me see if I can do this like this, and then we'll see if we can zoom in when we need to. So if we're gonna start, if you guys are ready and have your drawing done, it's pretty simple. Just make sure that this area is wider than that area, and you should have good perspective. And that these pillars are way bigger than these pillars. That's the only thing that will help you maintain a good perspective, because we're standing on the shore, we're not overhead. So now I'm going to let's just start from the top down. I like to do stuff from the top down, so that'll be good. So I just got clean water, because I did just get clean water, and I like to wet just the sky. So if you're intimidated by wetting the whole piece of paper, like some tutorials out there tell you to do this first, and then you'll be much happier. And I'm just gonna go dip my brush in there. It's almost gone. Need to refill that. But I'm just gonna dip it in there and look at how it spreads. And is it a cloudy day? I don't know. Is it super cloudy? I don't know if you guys notice a lot of the times when you're looking at out to the bay or out to the Gulf, and it's very pale towards the bottom, like towards the water. And that's where those clouds are up in the sky, right? Let me see if I can give you guys a little bit of a zoom in. Little zoom in, just a little bit. Maybe I can zoom that even more, so you can see what I'm going to do next. So what I'm going to do is rinse my brush out. I know we rinse our brush a lot. Going to dab it on a paper towel. We're going to lift and dab, lift and dab. So we're creating cumulus clouds. I have no idea. These clouds are, they remind me of looking at mountains, to be honest, because they go up and down, up and down. So that's what I'm doing with that. These are clouds in the horizon. And there is some blue still. I'm not going to get rid of that blue altogether. Although if you look at this one, it's very pale. Like you can barely see it. So I will, for the purpose of video, paint a little darker for you. But yeah, that's looking pretty nice. I like how that looks. So next I'm going to mix up my seafoam green. So let's use it right here in this palette. So over here in my colors, I do have a turquoisey blue right here that I'm going to use. And I'm going to mix in, I do have like a greenish turquoisey blue that I'm using. And see how much paint's on here? Not very much. We need a lot more than that. And my paint is still really dry, so I'm going to add some water and dip my brush in there until I get it nice and incorporated, and then I can bring some more paint over here and see how much more paint now we have. So don't be shy to do that. And I'm going to dip it in this blue and dip it in there. So my colors from one painting to the next will vary a lot. I'm just going to be honest. Trying to be a robot and create the same color every time is not something I try to do. So every time I paint something, it can be slightly different. But that's okay because I'm a unique artist and I'm not a machine. And that's the same with you guys. You're not going to be a machine doing the same colors as me. So asking me which colors I'm using is kind of, it's great if you like to know exactly what I'm using, but I just do like a bluish green and a turquoisey color, okay? And those are my recommendations, is just play with the different blues. I have like 5 blues here, so I love using blue. So this color I like, but it is very dark, so I'm going to add some water by dipping in I kind of transfer it with my brush, so I scoop it almost and get this a little more watery, right? I gotta have it a little more watery. So now I'm going to paint. Hopefully this is dry enough, otherwise it will bleed into them clouds. And this time I'm not wetting first, I'm just going in with this. And I think the funnest thing with watercolor is creating these waves by not painting every single area of the water. But see, I did have my pencil lines in there so I can see where I am painting. So leave some white space. You guys might be freaking out to do so, but it's fun to do. And that's how I do white waves. That is looking good. It's a little chunky in some spots. There's some dips going down right there. And my cat wants to come in. Today I don't have my little bit. He has to go get his teeth cleaned. So he's at the vet getting his little teethies cleaned. So I miss him following me around, going everywhere I go. The good thing about having your painting not taped down to your table is that you can, in fact, lift it up and tilt it. I'm going to just dab my paper towel on this edge and remove a little bit of that excess paint so it will dry and not puddle. There you go. See, that's a pretty color, but it's already kind of different than this one. Yeah, it's different, but that's okay. Maybe this one will be a nice bright one. We can do that. We can have a nice bright one. Oh my goodness, what are you guys doing at the door? Oh, my dog. My other dog is looking at me through the window on the door. But I don't really want any animals in here. I like it to be animal free. So now let's look at my palette again because I want you guys to see what I do. So I'm going to get some of this sap green. I like this, and I don't know why this is so dark, but we're going to mix it in to half of this dark, what already was there. Probably Payne's gray. I don't know, something. But we're going to mix a kind of muted sap green, which if you don't have muted sap green, add some red, like a titch, like a little tiny bit, not a whole bunch. So now I'm going to do this blue or this greenish color in here. And I am purposefully leaving a space because that's really wet still, and I don't want to cause it to bleed with this. But I am trying really hard to get it in there. If your brush is a little bit on the big side like this, just switch brushes. Go into a size smaller, and you don't have to do the same size I was. Ooh, that's not a pretty color. Lift that up. Don't like that one. Because it got more black in it than, or Payne's gray, I should say. It's not black. But I'm trying to fill in all these little areas that are right next to the dot. And now I can kind of go towards that one. It's bleeding up there a little. But that's what makes that loose and beautiful watercolor painting that only you can do. Okay? So I am doing that greenish color because the difference between this and this is there's some sand mixing in to the water. So when you're doing that, it's going to look different. It's going to look more green because of the added yellowness of the sand. So right now we got those two colors going on. And I'm liking how there is some separation of the colors. I just like how it's doing it on its own. If yours isn't doing that, you may have either too much water or not enough water. And doing watercolor is one of those things where you have to practice every day to figure it out, to know exactly how much of each you need to do, water and paint. But you'll get there. It can be taught. This can be learned. Practicing it does help. We are going to mix a brown. Maybe I'll do it in my purpley area in here. Maybe. Might put some of this yellow in there. Yellow ochre. Might put some brown. Might put some Payne's gray. And that's going to give us a nice color because purple and yellow will be gray. And getting a brown on your own is fun. You should try it, okay? That's one of those things with when you go get your degree in art, they teach you how to mix colors without using black and white. So I don't recommend using black and white. But if you're wanting to just start and you don't know really how to do the mixing of colors yet, you can use your black and white. I won't get onto your case about it. But as you progress in your skills, I would like you to try and mix your own grays and browns. So now I'm going to use this color, maybe water it down a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, when sand is wet, it's darker. When sand is dry, it's lighter. So this is going to end up being my darker area of sand. And I'm just going to go in here, go around those pillars a little bit, and I'm just filling it in quickly without trying to be persnickety. So I'm just going up to that where my pencil line was so I can remember. That's why I drew it real light, so that I could see exactly where to do that little line in the sand, right? Draw a line in the sand. So up close, this is what it looks like. And I left a lot more white when I painted it earlier. So if you didn't leave any white, we can still bring it back. Just rinse your brush, dry your brush, and just lift it. Okay, dry, lift, dry, lift. And the better quality your paper is, the better you can do this, okay? Sometimes it works great. So I did lift a little bit on that. This same color in my palette will be used for the dry sand, but I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. And I might use this more cadmium yellow, which is a little bit lighter. So sometimes using a little bit of a lighter color, like yellow, into something, and more water too. Always more water. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I like how that's looking. Don't forget, in between them pillars is where there's some sand. But this is still really light in color. I don't know, this is giving me, what kind of vibes is this giving me? It's like really pretty layers though. I kind of like it. So yeah, that is definitely different than that one, but it's okay because it's got a little bit in there. And we are not quite done yet. We will always be adding layers. Like our description says, you're going to learn how to do layers in the watercolor. Nothing, this will not happen first layer. I don't think you can. I don't know. Maybe there's someone out there who can. But this is how mine start out, is real pale and like separate layers on each part of the sky and the water and the sand. So next we're going to mix a brown for those columns, the pillars. I think that's what we need to do next. So I'm going to mix my burnt sienna, burnt umber together, and I can put it like off to the side here. I don't need a whole lot of it because there's not tons of them. And I want you to see this is the first layer, okay? So we're not going really dark yet with my pillars. We're just trying to get them in there quickly. I have way too much water on my brush, so I'm just going to dab it on my paper towel. Because I feel like that's just too puddly for me to control. If you find like you have a lot of water being deposited while you paint, then you should dab your brush and start over. So I'm just filling these in real quick. And if it does blend in with the sand on the bottom, I'm okay with that. It's not a big deal really to do a little touch up later. And now I've gotten them all kind of like that. And what else am I going to do next? I want to kind of go back to my water in the background here, and see I still have this blue. And what I like to do is layer a second layer, and I want you to see how much darker just a second layer is. And we're going to zigzag our brush just to make some interest. Maybe there's a school of fish swimming there. We don't know. Could be anything. Shark. But see how that looks already like it's going into the distance now with that second layer. But I'm still not done. I'll let that dry and we'll add some more layers. We can do that with the green. Can add some fun layers in between. And overlap with that blue to kind of blend it so it's not like it's floating. So bring a little bit of that green down, a little bit of the blue down, and a little bit of the green up. And that just makes it look so much better. So that's starting to look more cohesive. The part that's hard is going right next to this stalk, okay? To be honest, like that, you might want to go carefully when you're doing that so it looks good. All right, so that's really nice right there. I am going to go back to my brownish color and add a little bit just here and there, just to make it look like this is the wet area, right? That's what we're trying to do. And the more you layer, the better it will look, the more depth. I am losing my whites there, which I keep forgetting. There's going to be a reflection of these two pillars in the sand, in the wet sand, and I will do that closer towards the end. So that is looking pretty good. I like this color stain like it is. But I may still just kind of go a little bit over it again with this color just to make it blend with that, because it is a little bit different, okay? The one thing I didn't draw on the dock was there was an area where the planks were going across and then towards about here is where they start coming, the planks start coming this way. And if you're doing the planks this direction, you have to follow the, to be kind of parallel with the edges. So it's going to be like the rays of a sun if you've ever drawn a sun. But you don't have to do exactly what I did earlier. We can break up these planks so that they look a little different than last time. Because is it boring to paint the same thing over and over again? I mean, that's kind of what we do with our ACEOs, huh? We keep painting them. But they're all a little unique. That's what I like about them. All right, so I did just do a little bit of pencil line to make my planks more like what the they are in the reference photo, which is easier to see in this one. So some of the planks are horizontal, some of them are vertical, and that's just a choice you can make if you want to do that. All right, next I'm going to add some more browns. I'm going to mix it a little bit into this blackish Payne's gray area, and I'm going to start adding a darker layer to these pillars. And before doing this darker layer, you can readjust if there was any readjusting that needed to be done to your pillar sizes or anything like that. I am leaving some of the lights coming through. Let me see if I can zoom in. So I am leaving some of the under color so that you can tell there's light areas and dark areas. So, and I'm not trying to be too careful, although I am kind of concentrating and filling that in. And you want this pillar to kind of be the same size all the way down, but it can be like a little rough edge. This one, you can adjust this one to be more straight if you want it to be. I kind of drew it a little crooked. So this is where I'm adjusting it and making it more straight up and down. This one I kind of like that it's a little wonky. So it's looking good as I fill it in. This one too. And some of these are very longer than I originally made them. That's cool. There's like one right there, behind that one right there. See how I'm darkening them? That's what I want you guys to be doing, is darken all your pillars, and they get smaller as they go further away. That's bleeding into my water. So I may not go off that way anymore because of this might still be kind of damp. Don't forget these two guys. These guys need to be also create a darker pillar. Make sure they're kind of even all the way down. So that looks pretty good. Now we're going to go back to our ocean. So I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to use this color that I've been using, but now I'm going to add a little Payne's Gray into it. If you don't have Payne's Gray, you can use a little bit of black or a little bit of brown. That might work. A little bit of brown might work, like burnt sienna. But I like Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray is like my bestie. All right, we're gonna do some more layering of this. And I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So let's zoom in again. And trying to paint with my hand far, far away out of the camera is hard. All right, we're doing it though. We're doing it. I may even just dip even more Payne's Gray. See how dark that is in the corner there? Oof, it's going to look good though. Watch this. See how it moves on wet paper? I like that so much. Watching that is mesmerizing. So good. Look at that. So pretty. So pretty. If I do say so myself, it's very nice. I like how that's looking. I'm leaving some white, leaving some lights, and putting in some darks. Now my green is almost gone that I had. So if I want to do this, I'm going to have to get some more sap green and mix that in. But I left the blue on my brush. I didn't rinse my brush. And now I can go back and do a little bit more just fun little transitions, right? Between the two colors. So that's looking nice. Leave it more light towards the sand, okay? Now we're gonna do some more sandy color, but this time we're gonna add just a little bit of Payne's Gray. And we're going right closest to that water just to make that darker area. And this is kind of when I wanted to show you guys what I'm going to do with the reflection. So it's kind of like, let's mix a little bit more in there, a little more Payne's Gray. So it's a little darker, but it's going to be reflecting, and I have a little bit of light right there. So that's going to be, it kind of blended over there. We'll see how I like that. I may change it. If I'm not happy with it, I may change that. But yeah, the reflection should be kind of towards your eye. And the shadows are going to go to the right. That's how you're going to know the difference between reflections in the sand and the shadows. And the shadows are going to have a lot more blue in them. So that's what I'm going to show you guys as well. But so far, I'm liking this. I think this looks really good so far. My pillars need to be darkened some more. So I don't know how many layers this is going to be. We're just going to keep going. We're going to mix some Payne's Gray and burnt sienna and burnt umber together. I like all three. All three of these together. I don't know if that would be, isn't there a brown, Van Dyke brown or something? Anyways, mix your browns together. Mix everything together. See what happens. See if you like it. So now we're just going to go down that shadow side, and you can leave some of that wood grain if you want. I didn't do that so much with this one. If you can see, it's almost completely blackish brown, but you can leave that highlight on that side for this one. And just go down the side with that darker brown. I think this pillar keeps getting a little bigger and bigger. That's okay though. And I'm leaving some areas just a little bit. Let me go back over here. Just make that a little bigger, because I want them to be kind of the same size. But already, like looking at this on my computer screen, I can tell the contrast is helping immensely. So you're going to use that same one, and you're going to go over here with these little columns. And even if the sand area is wet, it's okay if it bleeds down a little bit. So just add those in there. I want you to add this one. We're just adding another layer. And hopefully you guys are enjoying watching this. If you are, please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe if you haven't. You can leave me comments too. If you go back, this will be popping up again. It'll always be here for eternity. I should probably go smaller with my brush. I feel like I'm losing my ability to go really small with these little guys. So, but that's okay if it's gonna need a little help. There we go. So already this is looking fabulous. Like I could tell this is a dock. We haven't even painted the wood. We're gonna do that last. Well, not last, but we're gonna do it towards the end. Because it's gonna be needing everything to be dry. And we're just gonna glaze over it with like a very pale gray. I love this tea. It is so good. What are y'all drinking today? Let me know in the comments if you're drinking coffee, soda. Some people wake up to drinking a bunch of soda. I gotta have my caffeine in my coffee, but then I switch to tea or water. So now I gotta look at this and really concentrate on what I want to do next. I really feel like my pillars need to be darker even still. So I'm going to add some more Payne's Gray into what I had mixed right here. Add a little more brown in it. And this should, oh yeah. If you're like able to see this, oh, it's so nice. So nice. Jay says, oh, Jenna says H2O, yeah. And Jerry says, I'm on my second cup of coffee, but that tea looked really good. It's pretty good. Oh, and Debbie's having some poppy soda. What flavor? I keep wanting to try that. I'm not 100% sure if it would be good, and I don't know which flavor to try. But I've seen it, and I want to try it. Maybe you could bring some tomorrow. You coming to the Painty Ladies tomorrow, Debbie? We would love to see you. I just went there today to the studio to clean up all my dishes from my soap class. So I actually make soap and teach it now, which is crazy. It's crazy, I tell you. I'm going to put a little darker at the bottom of those two and lighter at the top, just because they're in the water, kind of. And this one, I'm going to kind of do the same. I may need to go smaller even still than this brush. But see how I'm just dabbing it here and there. I'm not trying to make it, um, there's not a lot of detail. When things are further away, it's kind of like you can't see detail. So don't paint detail if it's far away. Like don't waste your time trying to make a wood grain right there. There's no reason for it, right? But that's looking pretty good right there. Yes, yeah, I am, Debbie says. Yay! Oh, the watermelon. I do like the taste of watermelon, so I might have to try that one. All right, now I'm gonna switch even smaller with my brush because I want to do some of these lines going on the dock before I paint the whole thing. So I can use this same color that I've been using for the pillars to create lines in there. Okay, so now I'm going to show you up close what I mean. So this is the section right here where it starts to be a horizontal board. So I'm just very carefully doing doing a couple lines here. And these boards are rickety, y'all. They do not have to be perfect. In fact, the more perfect it is, if you try and do these equally spaced and equally the same amount and like all kinds of measuring, I think it will take away from the beauty of it being a watercolor. So that's just my opinion. I think it's better to have it be not perfect. And I have to fix this because my hand just touched that. If you have a clean brush, you just go like this and you can erase it. So there, just let that dry. Don't touch it with your hand. That would be not good. All right, the more it gets further away they're going to be, these boards are going to be kind of closer together. And at some point, you're not even going to be able to distinguish any of these boards being different. Like you're not going to be able to tell there's a bunch of boards. So I'm just putting little spots there, here and there. Now I'm going to do it the same going this direction because that's what is going to make these look like real boards. And I like the shadow is going to be kind of on the right hand side of these boards. And I'm just doing that. Some of these boards are really long boards. Some are kind of short. So see how I'm just very simply doing this. I'm not trying to make it exact or perfect. They're just kind of wiggly boards that aren't even the same length. There. So see how I just added those? And they're now you can kind of see them. Before they were just, I did a little quick pencil line. Might do a little bit right here. And then of course on this edge, this is like the edge of these boards. So I don't want them perfect either. I'm kind of making it a little jagged, not super pronounced, but just a little bit. So now I'm going to look at the hole so I can see it kind of far away, and it helps if like you're at this stage, take a picture of your painting on your phone and look at it. So that gives you an objective feel for it. You can look at it and just be like, all right, someone else painted this. What would I think about it? And you could say, oh, I think that the pillars are too dark, or the sand is too dark here, or whatever. If something's too dark, you can still kind of lift right now. Oh, hey, Beth, thanks for joining us. Oh, you're painting along too? Yay! I can't wait to see it. You'll have to text me a picture. So, you know, I can look at this objectively and be like, I really like all the colors that I'm seeing. I like them. they're more vibrant than this one turned out, and maybe that's okay. Maybe I'm okay with the more vibrant color. We haven't even added shadows. We haven't done anything for the dock color. So right now the dock looks really kind of white and we want to tone it down, but right now we're letting it dry. This sand is going to be really cool when you start to put the little shadows from all the little divots from people walking, and that'll be really good. So right now I'm going to go to my medium-sized brush, which to you it may be a 6. I'm not sure what mine is, 4 or 6. All the things wore off, all the numbers, which is ridiculous. I think if I ever do design some brushes, I'm going to engrave it. I'm going to have numbers engraved. And it will never wear off. It may cost more, but that's okay. Then you'll know what the number is. All right, so I do have this green, and I do have this kind of brownish black. I may put them together and see what color I get. If I like it, that might be my shadow color. Okay, you might be like, what? Why are you doing that? Because you never know. You never know what color you like until you do it. So now I'm going to do, these shadows are kind of at an angle. Right? And they can go right off the page. Maybe it's that time of day where it's kind of going off a little bit. Here's some little shadows right there. If I could do this correctly. Hello. This is still kind of wet. I'm not liking that. It's kind of wet. So I might have to let those ones dry. Well, that one's not too bad. Over here, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow going across that. Same here. Same here. Same there. So all these little guys are going to have all the shadows in the same direction. Let me zoom in. On this side, the shadow's actually going to go a little bit down here. Okay. So you can do even a shadow on the top of the water can help make that look really good. Look at that, how it just kind of brought that whole thing out. There is a little bit of a shadow underneath the dock, but we might need to use some paint spray to get that really dark. Okay, so I'm liking how that looks. The shadow already made it. Made it look good. This little guy, I don't know why you're just going wherever you want to go. You're being a silly little shadow for some reason. All right. Evie, thanks for joining. Hello, thank you. I don't know if you're just joining or if you've been watching, but I appreciate you. I'm going back over a second coat on these bottom ones just because there was a little bit of a darker puddling on one of them, so I wanted to kind of fix that up. But that looks pretty good so far. And what I may end up doing now, since I have this color right here, this was my shadow color, right? I might add some of these little divots for my sand. And I will zoom in so you can see exactly what I'm doing. But I'm just using that same color that I used for the shadows. So now we're going to add some like little footprints. Now I am not perfect at this, you guys, but just kind of add some wherever you think. Add a little water to your brush and that should help make it be less stark, although it's not too bad to have it like this. And make different shapes. Don't make them all like the same shape. Make some zigzags in there. But these little footprints in the sand or whatever they are, they're just kind of showing up here and there. I'm gonna do a little bit over here. Just a little bit more right there. And blend into the shadows too. You don't want it to be like the like I don't know, like spots on a dog or something. You know, we're not trying to make them exact. These are going everywhere. And if you don't like how many or how dark, just rinse your brush, dab it on your paper towel, and you can lift off some. Maybe that's like way too many. Maybe I didn't like how that looked. So I'm just dabbing a few off of there and softening and blending it back in. So you can do that after you're done doing a couple of footprints. You can go back in and change a little bit if you didn't like how it looked. But I kind of like how it looks now. Jerry says, I also have to go. Oh, Janice has to go too. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I always love seeing familiar names in the chat. And it says you'll catch the rest on replay. Perfect. But yeah, this is almost done, y'all. You've really kind of stuck with it, and it's like 11 o'clock. So the only thing I have to do is the dock. Ooh, I almost dipped in my tea, y'all. But rinse your brush, get like that same shadowy color and just water it way down. So let me show you what I'm doing. So I'm dipping in my water and I'm watering down this shadow color so it's super watery, like super, super watery. And so now I'm looking at the dock and I am just going to glaze over that gently, okay? Gently. See? And I can do a couple little like planks that might have a little bit more shadow in it. But really, we're trying to keep this not dark. And I kind of like to keep the tops of these white, but if you want to add something on the top of those guys, you can. But these are looking fabulous. I am liking that. Now see how I've knocked that out a little bit so it's not as white? And that looks pretty good. So I would say that's pretty much done. If I wanted to darken anything, this would be the point to do it. So if I wanted to add a Payne's Gray with that brown mixture into my pillars on one side, because I did touch this one with my hand and it kind of smeared it. You could do that. You can add just a little bit to give it a little more contrasting, just for fun. I think it looks pretty much done. I don't think it's necessary to do what I'm doing right now, but you could. And that just makes it, everything up close is going to be a lot more in focus, and the colors will be more vibrant. So as it goes further out, it's going to look more muted. So I'll rinse my brush, and I think I'm going to let this just rest and do its little thing. And you know, sometimes I go back the next day and I look at something, like I might look at this tomorrow or later today and be like, you know what, it needs something. What does it need? This one, I'm really liking this. I think once it's framed, it'll be perfect to put on the wall, sell at an art gallery. Who knows, right? We're gonna take the stuff that we make, we should share. We should encourage other people to try painting too, I think, because isn't that kind of what we do? Janice and Jerry, I know they left, and Debbie, we're all meeting together now to encourage each other and to help each other grow in our crafts and also in our skills and also in just what are we going to do with this art? Because I don't think art should be hidden away or, you know, a lot of people say I just do it for myself. I'm not going to say that's wrong or anything, but I think art was meant to be shared. Like, art is so important for our society that we do need to share it with others. And so that's pretty much the tutorial today, but I do like to leave you guys with a little message. And I think last week we did the small faith the size of a mustard seed. So what are we going to do today? I have probably done some of these a couple times maybe, but let's see what today is going to be. I do like this one. This is good, and it's not a well-known Bible book of the Bible. It's Zephaniah 3:17, and it says, "You are blessed. The Lord your God is with you. His power gives you victory. The Lord will take delight in you, and in his love he will give you new life." I feel like that is so encouraging, you guys. It is like he will give you new life. He loves you, he delights in you. And figuring out that you enjoy painting, he delights that you enjoy painting. He delights in that. He loves that you are starting a hobby or starting an endeavor. Like, he is delighting in Jerry that she is opening up an art studio for our community to enjoy. He is delighting in her. He is delighting in you as you have been painting along. He loves how you are creating, because we were designed to create. That's what I feel anyways. We are all designed in the image of God, and he is the number one creator, first creator. He made everything. So here we are creating too. And isn't that a joy to just know that we have that in common with God? Let me see what everyone's been saying. Oh, Debbie, thank you. She said, enjoyed this. What else did Beth say? Oh, I had to stop painting and just listen. I'm slow. Oh, I'm so sorry. But yes, when you replay it, you can pause and replay it. So that's what I did when I was first learning. If you don't follow Paul Clark, please go follow him. He is fabulous. I learned everything from him, and what I would do with his tutorials is pause them, catch up on my paper, rewind, and play it again. So I rewound and played his videos probably 100 times just to get caught up, because they are actually sped up like 2 or 3 times what he actually paints it at. He'll do a few segments at real time, and it's really slow. And I kind of do go fast. I'm sorry, I'm a fast painter. I'm sorry. But I think it's because it's a loose painting. So like if I were going to paint a dog or a cat where it needs to be more detail involved with that, it's going to take a little longer for me, just because I'm getting all the little strands of fur if I want to put those in there, eyelashes, coloration, things like that. So it does take a little bit longer. Beth said, where is Painting Lady Place? Oh, are you, Beth, are you in Baldwin County? Because we would love for you to join us if you want to. Send me a message and I can let you know where that is. It's not technically a class or anything. We've all just kind of met through social media and realized we live in the same town, basically, or near each other. And so we decided to meet together and help each other, because like Jerry is on TikTok doing sponsored videos and making money with that, and so she's teaching Janice to do that. She's teaching me to do that. I still haven't reached my amount of followers that I need in order to start doing that, but I am getting there. I'm like at 800 or something on TikTok, and here I think I'm almost to 1,000. I have not checked lately if I have reached 1,000. I would love to start, but I don't even think I'm close to watch hours for my I'm not even close. Ooh, y'all, I'm at 999 for YouTube. 999, y'all. I need one more for 1,000. Wouldn't that be so cool? If you haven't ever thought about subscribing to someone's channel, do so. Today, subscribe to mine just to give me that one that I need for 1,000. And I hope you guys did enjoy this. I really have enjoyed it. Like, I painted this twice today. I'm not sure which one I like better, but I do like, this is my sketchbook. Why is it so hard to know which direction to put? I like them both. They both look great. I like them both. So sometimes painting something that's, twice is very helpful. It's like when you were learning to write your name in kindergarten, you didn't just write your name once and be like, oh, I know how to do it. You had to practice writing the letters, like pages and pages of the same letter, pages and pages of the second letter, and things like that. So sometimes to learn how to do this, you paint it over and over again, right? But if that's boring, just paint something different, because every time you paint something, you're going to learn from it. But I hope you did learn from me today. I hope you enjoyed today. Yeah, Beth is saying she is local, so yeah, send me a text. She'll email me. Yay! I would love for you to join us. That would be awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and just know that I love you. I pray for you, and have a blessed day. Mwah!